Hello, Mr. Eduardo. Nice to meet you.
Hello, hi, good afternoon. Nice to meet you too.
Yes, and we are waiting for your presentation, and we want to hear how this ecological farming, digitalization, can it be a good solution or no? Please present us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for having invited me to this important conference. I'm very honored to be with you today and to open this panel discussion. And I'm also very honored to have the possibility to share with you some thoughts on how the agri-food system is to be transformed to be more sustainable. For years, we have been discussing the trouble ahead of agri-food system. Troubles such as the climate change, the loss of biodiversity, land degradation, and many others, including also a pandemic. And then suddenly in 2020, with the COVID-19, all this warning became more real. And to me, it became more real that that there is time to change. That this pandemic is telling us to speed up and really make a transition from a model, this agro-industrial intensification system model, which is broken and which is generating a vicious circle. This vicious circle, it's a circle where intensification is giving as a result a threat to productivity that requires further intensification and new industrial solution to be solved. If you look at this picture, there's a picture from the Stockholm Resilience Center of in Sweden. I mean, both the Stockholm Resilience Center as well as a very recent published publication from the SCAR, the group from the European Commission dealing on agricultural research, they both are stating that we have gone too far in polluting the planet. We've been squandering natural resources and mismanaging the society. If we look at our impact on land, water, and air, we are far past the planetary boundaries which humanity can contribute to develop and thrive for generations to come. If you look at the picture, you will see that there is a red area when it talks about nitrogen, because our farming method, for instance, is injecting about 7 times as much nitrogen into the environment as would be compatible with the sustainable ecosystem. We are also impacting very dramatically our biodiversity. Of 7,000 plant species used to be cultivated, today only 120 of them are still important for agriculture. And only just 30 species are delivering 95% of all the food on the planet. But this industrial system is also giving us socioeconomic issues. And I think we should also be aware that this alarm bell is raising higher and higher. I mean, what is happening is that in our European Union, farmers are disappearing. Every year we lose 325,000 full-time job equivalent, and in the last decade we lost about 4 million farmers. Still, there is an health issue to be taken into account. The health perspective. I mean, the industrialized food system is affecting our health, and it's also generating human and economic cost. Accordingly to this report that you find on the slide, people is getting sick for 5 main reasons. First, because they work under unhealthy conditions, or because they're exposed to contaminants in water, soil, and air, or because they eat contaminated food, or because they have an unhealthy diet, or even because still today there is no adequate access to food for all the people all the times. And let me say, with the COVID-19 crisis, the vulnerability of our food system, including the risk of a zoonotic spillover, have rapidly aggravated. So it's really time to change. It's really time to move and to break this vicious circle and make a transition towards a virtuous circle. I like to call it the ecological intensification virtuous circle, where the inputs are minimized, the soil is preserved, soil fertility and soil carbon sequestration are increased, while we can produce high quality food for all. In this context, organic farming is the only sustainable production method which is defined by a clear regulation and that can offer a clear alternative to industrialized agriculture, while giving additional remuneration to farmers and new opportunities to entrepreneurs, but still producing good, high-quality food for all. So let me say that I would like to share with you my happiness to see that the European Commission has been recognized the role of organic farming in the Green Deal and the consequent strategy. I mean, if we look at the farm to fork strategy, so the new strategy that the Commission has put in place to make our food system more sustainable, this is setting up 4 important targets. First, is to reduce the use of chemical pesticide by 50% by 2030. Then reducing of 20% the use of fertilizer, and reducing the nutrient losses by 50% still by 2030. Then reducing the sales of antibiotics by 50% by 2030. And then the European Commission is aiming to increase organic farming, to bring organic farming to 25% of agricultural land by 2030. So we see that these 4 targets that the Commission is giving itself in the Farm to Fork and is giving to Europe are very interesting, and they put organic in the center of the debate, and they want to use organic as a tool to achieve also their previous 3 targets. For each new farmer that will be organic, there will be one farm less that will be using pesticide, antimicrobials, and chemical fertilizers. But indeed, these are very ambitious objectives. I mean, we are now at the 8% of organic land in Europe, and in 9 years we are supposed to triplicate. And indeed, it's very ambitious also to reach 50% reduction of pesticide, antibiotics, and so on. So the real question is, how do we reach this ambitious target? How do we transform our agri-food system? And in my opinion, I mean, we can do that only if we really stimulate the transition by giving to agri-food entrepreneurs new tools that can ensure optimal management of their business. We in the organic sector are by far front runner of innovation. I mean, since the start of our movement and the start of our production method, we have been innovating farming practices to become more sustainable and increase our production while respecting the human and environmental life. But we are also front runner in testing and using new tools to better manage our business. So we have been spent the last year in exploring digital solutions. And we do believe that indeed digitalization could play a very important role in attracting new entrepreneurs or to convert the current one to a more sustainable food system. But to do so, we really have to be careful and make sure that this new technology will be based on the farm or the value chain needs. We see more and more the tendency that the agri-food sector is just a market where technology that have been developed must be sold. We actually want farmers and the other actor of the agri-food chain to work together with the technology provider to develop the technology we need. We also have to make sure that this technology will be assessed not only about their efficiency, but also about their overall sustainability and their socioeconomic impact. We have to avoid to move the pollution from the agri-food sector to another sector. But as I said, digital technology are very promising, and we are looking at them since many years. And we have been, as organic sector, joining many pilots and many projects all over the world. And in Europe, we really developed a lot of different applications that could help having a better farming system. And I wanted to bring 3 examples today with you, very shortly. First example about increasing farm diversity. I mean, with new technology, we can try to apply different managing practices within different sites. With a pilot project called Big Wine Optimization, we have been installing more than 150 sensors in fine vineyards, and we've been covering about 150 hectares and 4 cellars. Thanks to this connected sensor, we perform a data analysis and help produce to take decisions. So we developed a decision-making system for wine producers. Thanks to this technology, the farmer who used this saved 20% of their direct cost, gained an average of 400 euros more per hectare, reduced the use of potable water, reduced the use of energy consumption, and also reduced the greenhouse gas emissions. Yet, another example, how digital technology could help us to make our food system with more animal welfare. And this is another project that we run with 200 cows. So we gently asked the cows if they were willing to wear a new collar, technological collar, for 100 weeks. And then we use the data collected to this, from these collars to manage better the farm. And what we learned? Well, first of all, we learned that with this collar, we were able to track the position of individual cow wherever they were in real time. We could easily determine if a cow was indoor or was on a pasture. We could collect data and time and the location very precisely. And this helped the farmers to decrease the time looking for the cattle, but also to better control ammonia emission, for example. Thanks to these wearables, we have been eliminating a manual recording of indoor-outdoor animal presence with more accuracy and less labor cost. And then indeed, there was also a good effect on the audit performances of our farmers, because thanks to the data collected by the wearables, it was possible to make automatic reports and so deliver those to the auditor. Yet, another example about consumer trust and improving end-to-end traceability. In this pilot, we have been developing an integrated system that monitors the wine supply chain and the distribution channel linked to that in order to prevent damages caused by the stress factor of the supply chain, humidity, shocks, and other stress factors. And with this ecosystem, it was possible to decrease the number of complaints and the commercial dispute. It was possible to reduce the shipping cost, but was also possible a side effect to strengthen the relationship between the producer and the final retailers and to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. And I know that I don't have time. I wanted to bring you many examples, but let me say that I think another important strength that digital technology can give to agriculture is about developing agricultural knowledge and innovation system. For example, by providing technical solutions and demonstration approaches to advisory services. So, but we need to be careful when we use this technology, because we have to avoid that this technology become just one more industrial solution to intensify production. So we do not have to avoid, we have to avoid that digitalization become one of the industrial solutions for the industrialized agricultural system. We need to make sure that digital tools will be adapted to local conditions and deployed equally in all the different rural areas of Europe. Digital tools should be available for all the farmers, for most small-scale farmers, and so on. But we should also see digital tools as a set of tools able to support an holistic transformation towards a more sustainable food system. And to do so, we need indeed a lot of investment. We need investment into research and innovation, and we need to make sure that the innovative solution that will be found will be really made available for all the farmers. So we need the European Commission, and I hope also the Lithuanian government, to really invest into knowledge innovation system to help the farmer in this transition. And there is a tool, which is a very important tool, which represents 32% of the overall budget of the European Union, which is the Common Agriculture Policy. We believe that the Common Agriculture Policy can really be a good tool to start this transition and to help new entrepreneurs to embrace the challenge of becoming more sustainable. And I'm aware that in Lithuania, you are now discussing the CAP National Strategic Plan. And this is exactly the moment in which the right decision needs to be taken, because this National Strategic Plan will govern the subsidies and the support of the CAP for the next 5 years. And I hope that this recommendation to support organic farming under both pillars can really be taken into account by your government. We believe that the first pillar could really help in supporting organic farmer, and the second pillar helping them in transiting to organic farming. So take current conventional farms becoming more sustainable. But I think the CAP can also help in ensuring a level playing field and affordability for all those rural actors who intend to adopt digital technology. Support for new technology should be allowed only if this is contributing to the environmental and climate objective, so that this fit really the overall CAP objective. But indeed, we could make digitalization eligible, for example, in the first pillar of the CAP under the eco scheme, but we could also use the second pillar to help closing the so-called digital divide. So we could have actions to guarantee fair access to technology for all, but also education for technology for all. And I believe very pragmatically that the CAP could also provide farmers with a counter transition voucher to allow them to access independently advisor who can help them with the agroecological and the digital translation. So I know that my time is almost finished, so I would like to conclude. Let me say that we have really a lot of work in front of us, and the Green Deal and the Farm to Fork are posing a challenge to us, but also represent an important opportunity for transforming our food system. I think that if we work all together with all the actors of the supply chain, with the technology provider, but also with national, regional, and local policymaker, I mean, if we do so, we can really incentivize farmers to break the agro-industrial intensification vicious circle and move from an input-intensive agriculture to a knowledge-intensive agriculture. If we manage to do so, I'm sure that we all together can make the Farm to Fork objective and the Green Deal a big success for Europe. So thank you again for having me with you today.
Thank you, Eduardo. It seems that we must go a long way and to achieve a lot of new results. And like you said, only together we can achieve that. Thank you, and hope that together we will achieve these results.